What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bring guys a brand new video. We're gonna be doing a mid fan on my boy, so stay tuned. Since his hair was very wild, we started off by saturating the hair and combing everything in place, making sure everything is nice and neat. Now that we're done combing the hair in place, we could then debulk the sides with the 3-guard all the way open. Since there's a lot of hair on the sides, I'm using my comb to feed the hair into the clipper and I'm flicking out as much as possible. This is going to help us build our silhouette and also keep our bulk enough so that we leave enough weight on the sides. Now that we're done debulking the sides, we can move on to our gold FX and create our first guideline. And we're also going to make sure we contour this guideline so that head shape so that the fade could flow better. Now that we're done bonding them out, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. You want to make this guideline around 1 inch thick so you can spread the blend. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and leave a follow down below in the Instagram. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our 1 guard all the way open and create our third guideline. And we're also going to use this same guard to soften up this line and get ready for the half guard. Now that we're done softening up the line with the lever and the same guard, we can move on to the half guard and erase the line completely. Now that we're done with our lower guards, we can move on to our 2 guard all the way open and create our 4th guideline. This guideline is going to help us blend into the top bulk and also get ready for our 1.5 guard. But as you guys can see, I'm using my comb to feed the hair into the clipper and I'm flicking out as much as possible. Now that we're done softening up the line with the 2 guard, we can move on to the 1.5 guard and erase the line completely. Sometimes after softening up the line with the 1.5 guard, there's still a faint line, so switching over to your 1 guard all the way open would definitely help. I'm going to detail as much as possible with my previous guards, and I'm also going to use the corners and the lever. Moving on to my clipper over comb method, I'm going to use my horizontal cuts to debulk and my vertical cuts to blend. Now I'm moving on to my 3 guard all the way open, and I'm flicking out as much as possible near the parietal ridge. Now that we're done blending in the parietal ridge area, we can move on to the sideburns and use our no guard all the way open to blend in our initial guideline. After I'm done erasing in that initial guideline, and then move on to my 1 guard all the way open and use the lever to blend out the second guideline. Now that we're done blending out the sideburns, we can move back to the back. As you guys can see, we're using our half guard to completely erase the guideline we made with the 1 guard all the way open. Moving on to our 2 guard all the way open, we're going to create our 4th guideline and get ready for the 1.5 guard. Now that we're done softening up the line with the 2 guard, we can move on to the 1.5 guard and erase the line completely. Again, a lot of the times that one guard all the way open is going to help you erase that line completely after using the 1.5 guard all the way open. Now we're moving on to our 3 guard all the way open, and we're going to use our comb to feed the hair into the clipper and flick out as much as possible. I'm going to detail as much as possible with my previous guards, and I'm going to debulk also. Moving on from the back to the front, we're going to make sure we comb all his baby hairs down and debulk them as much as possible. Now that we're done going with the grain with the 1.5 guard and debulking the hairline, we can move on to our T outliners and start off at the middle, working our way to the sides. I always like to make sure I go slow enough that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer, because if not, then the hair is going to shift and then you won't line them up properly. Also, when we're lining up the C cups, I always start off at the bottom and work my way to the top arch using the corners of the blade. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and leave a follow down below in the Instagram. Now that we're done lining up his C cups and front line, we can move on to the beard and make him as crispy as possible. I always like to start off at the middle and work my way to the sides and then do the edges. Now that we're done lining up the beard, we can move on to our Turkish razor and Derby Premium blades and make him as crispy as possible. Also, when using the razor, you always want to keep it at a 45-degree angle and stretch the skin as much as possible with your opposite hand. This lowers the likelihood of you cutting someone. What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing you guys a brand new video. We're gonna be doing a mid-fade mullet on one of my clients, so stay tuned. We're gonna be starting off by saturating the hair and combing everything in place, making sure we have a nice and neat canvas. Now that we're done combing everything in place, we can then move on to our Gold FX and create our first guideline. We're also gonna make sure we contour this guideline to the head shape so that the fade can flow better. When I'm creating my first guideline for the mullets, I always start off low so I have enough space to blend. Now that we're done botting them out with our trimmers, we could then move on to our foil shavers so we can remove the stubble. Now that we're done removing the stubble, we could then move on to our clippers and use our no guard all the way open, creating our second guideline. You always want to make this guideline around 1 inch thick so you can spread the blend. Once you're done setting in that guideline, you could then slightly close the lever midway and all the way closed and attack that initial guideline. This is going to help you start off the fade and also blend into the one guard all the way open. Don't be afraid to use your opposite hand to stretch the skin to give you more space to blend. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe is greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and leave a follow on the Instagram down below. Now that we're done blending out our initial guideline, we can move on to our one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. You then want to use this same guard and its lever to soften up this line and get ready for the half guard. Now that we're done softening up the line with the one guard, we can move on to our half guard and erase the line completely. Make sure to use your lever and its corners to do so. Now that we're done with our lower guards, we can move on to our two guard all the way open and create our fourth guideline. As you guys can see, I'm flicking out with my clipper and I'm feeding the hair into the clipper using my comb. We're also going to use this same guard and the lever to soften up this guideline and get ready for the 1.5 guard. Now that the line is soft enough, I'm moving on to my 1.5 guard and I'm going to use the corners and its lever to erase the line completely. Sometimes there's still a faint line after using your 1.5 guard, so switching over to your 1 guard all the way open and using his corners would definitely help. You always want to make sure you detail as much as possible with your 1 guard and your 1.5 guard. Now that we're done detailing with the lower guards, we can move on to our 3 guard all the way open and go right above the 2 guard all the way open. We're also using our comb to feed the hair into the clipper when needed. We want to leave a decent amount of bulk, so we're going to use our clipper over comb method to debulk just a little bit, enough that it connects it to the sides, but also leaves enough so that the curls can blend. When using the clipper over comb method, you always want to make sure you keep your comb at a certain degree so that the blend is consistent. Moving on to our 4 guard all the way open, we're going to use the comb to feed the hair into the clipper, and we're flicking out as much as possible to leave as much bulk as possible. Now that we have a good silhouette, we could then move on to our thinning shears and begin to debulk the bulk. There are hairs that are connected to the top that I don't want to cut at all, so I'm making sure I'm separating the top from the sides so I can only debulk the side part. I'm making sure that the back mullet blends into the side fade as smooth as possible, making sure that there's no disconnected parts of the bulk. Now that we're done thinning out the sides, we could then move on to our Gold FX and begin to line up his C-cup. I always start off at the bottom, working my way to the top arch using the corners of the blade. I also want to make sure I'm as delicate as possible, just so I don't mark them with the teeth of the trimmer. I'm going back to the fade and I'm detailing as much as possible with my no guard and thinning shears. I didn't like how the C-cup was looking, so I went back to the C-cup and realigned it. Now we're moving on to the left side of the C-cup, and we're also starting off at the bottom and working our way to the top arch, staying as consistent as possible. I feel like the Gold FX is a perfect balance between power and sharpness. It's just right there, right in between. Now we're going to line up the back of the mullet, and we're starting off at the middle and working our way to the sides, staying as consistent as possible and making sure we comb the hair down when needed. Now that we're done with the mullet and putting all the hair up in place, we can then move on to the front line and use our Gold FX to make them as crispy as possible. I usually start off at the middle and work my way to the sides, and I'm also going as slow as possible, making sure that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer. Because if not, then the hair could shift and then you won't line them up properly. Also, you want to be careful not to take the corners too deep. It will give the haircut an awkward look. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe is greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and leave a follow on the Instagram down below. Now that we're done detailing, we can move on to our Turkish razor and Derby premium blades and make them as crispy as possible. But before we do that, we're going to apply some shave gel so that the blade can glide better.